Hello, I'm Neha Cherry. I'm an editor with the Fifth Estate, and today I have with me Sai Sagar, who is contesting for the position of Institute Cultural Affairs Secretary Arts. So, Sagar, the first question for you. What is your opinion on merging the positions of CulSec Lit and CulSec Arts, since there is no meaningful distinction between them anyways? Why not have just one secretarial position for the cultural sphere with a different selected Sarang head under the cultural secretary, as happens in other IITs and the co-curricular sphere in IITM?
So yeah, what you said is actually I support this statement of having only one secretary when it comes to the part of culturals, because it's been practicing across all the IITs in pan India level, and also when it comes to institute also. Exactly as you said, in the co-curricular sphere, we have different fest heads who will handle all the fest related things, and there'll be a secretary to manage and to sort of be a guidance for all the heads. So similarly, I think having only one cultural secretary will make people accountable for it, because there is always a blame game going on when it comes to the part of culturals, because since there is no clear demarcation of the duties between arts and lit, people have been blaming on each other. So making one secretary will have everybody accountable for it, and anyways it is always unity in strength, right? And also when it comes to culturals, we might be of 1,000 colors, but we need to be united in the one culture.
Now, how do you think the cultural contingents have performed in this first completely offline year since 2019? What problems have you identified with regards to the cultural contingent, and how do you plan to address them?
So when it comes to culturals, not just the contingents, but entire institute has actually underperformed, I should be saying that. And this is something not normal, and normal has always been the best for us. So I think culturals cannot be learned online, just unlike academics and any other extracurriculars. This cannot be happening online. So culturals needs to be divided into three ways, like learning, participation, and competition. Learning was there since most of us self-learned in the arts and literaries and everywhere, but when it comes to participation, it was lagging, and suddenly we get into competition. So I think if we address these basic things as learning, participation, and competition, and bring out an organic learning curve, I think we'll be able to address the culturals not just for contingent but for the entire institute.
Sagar, do you think that events like Mardi Gras and Prom increase the participation of the GSP in the cultural scene? Given that most of the GSP does not engage actively in the cultural sphere, what more do you think can be done to reduce the barriers of entry and encourage general participation?
So if you go through my manifesto, when it comes to Mardi Gras, one of my initiatives there mentions Mardi Gras Redux, which is basically an exclusive event handled by PG teams, assisted by the current existing teams as well. But the reason why I've given only to PGs is because just to make them and give them a platform to showcase their talents. And Mardi Gras can be only a 2-day event. But when it comes to prom, I think it was only an event targeted only for a specific section of people. And I think if there's something event of this sort, crowdsourcing or crowdfunding should be done instead of using the Sangam budget for it. And when it comes to culturals, in order to make them, all these years, the approach that we have been doing is expecting students to get into culturals. So we'll bring out a renaissance in this, and we'll just take the culturals to students, and so that everybody actively participates. For that, we have, in my manifesto, I have open mics and all. So the goal here is to make people culturally aware.
Many of your recommendations and proposals are based on surveys that you have cited in your manifesto. Could you tell us how many people participated in your surveys and what were the demographics of your sample space? One of your surveys shows that refusal of permission by guides and academic workload together constitute 82% of the reasons behind the low participation of PGs in cultural events. How do your proposals address these two issues?
Yeah. So in my surveys, there have been, there have been questions specifically for different demographics. Like there are a few points where I've, which are mainly UG specific. So the participation number was 232, which I got as of the deadline manifesto date, and PGs around 96 people participated in it across various departments. And the points that are related to Saarang's team, around 90 people have participated in the survey. And so when it comes to FACATs or the guide saying no, the very simple answer is they are supposed to give us advices. They are not supposed to tell us what to do. It's very simple. The moment we ask them something, they say no. Because when they start to think about academics, the PG is because academics is the main reason for them, and and nobody wants to mess with their academics, right? And also the director has committed to give us 5 cultural holidays, which will be addressed in the next town hall meeting. And I see it's very simple. My manifesto is mostly on all the necessity.
Now, Sagar, you have said in your feasibility report, and I quote, knowledge transfer and fundaes about Sangam and Saarang are gatekept heavily, even within the organization. Could you please elaborate on what you mean by this statement? Your solution to this problem is to compile a cultural affairs blue book, which is to be determined with the Sangam clubs. Now, most clubs and even some contingents already have a handbook with the same information from similar initiatives in the past 2 years. Doesn't that make your plan a little repetitive?
Yeah. So what I meant by my statement is there has been a very significant favoritism over the past few years just due to the online scenario, because you get to speak only and interact to only a few section of people due to this online nature. And yes, this point is a bit repetitive, but nobody has fulfilled it so far. And even going with the outside trend where government is funding various institutes for archiving, instead of just focusing on the admin's achievements and why don't we focus on students' achievements, and why not on culturals? This can be a blue book where everything will be kept and accessible to the entire public at the Heritage Center, and this can also be used for promoting culturals outside institute as well. And when it comes to this thing, I have spoken to the Heritage Center, and they are very much willing to do it, and that is what they meant to do, and that is the reason why we have a Heritage Center here in IITM.